Today we're going to be going over some of the best cologne fragrances that you can buy and wear for the season of fall. These smell great just for the cooler weather in general, but especially right now in this in-between time of year of fall where sometimes it can be a little bit warm where you need to take the sweatshirt off, and other times in the mornings and evenings you feel like you need to bundle up. These give you the variety to be able to get through that time of year. Like I already mentioned, you could wear these in the wintertime as well, no problem. I just find myself kind of leaning towards these and fragrances of this style here in fall. What's nice about these is that, of course, they are affordable relative to what they are a clone of. So we're going to go through each of these, talk prices and where you can get them, which I'll just link everything down below and make it easy for you. But we're going to start off with French Avenue Elysian Onyx. Really, really cool bottle presentation. I mean, the cap is awesome. The bottle is cool. The coloration, the gradient here is nice. I mean, this is sharp looking. I love it. So really just looking at it, you know, the name, the color, the design, you really don't get any hints, right? This is unlike Fragrance World or French Avenue, but it's the same company overall. Typically, they're very direct with their bottle presentations. Not so much here. So I'll just say it. It's a Memo Paris African leather clone, which is an amazing leather scent. Really good. It's strong, it's smoky, it's earthy, smells amazing. Nice cardamom spice along with that leather. You're getting plenty of woods as well to supplement that, even like a sandalwood note too. It just, man, it smells great. African leather is by far the most popular scent from Memo Paris, and I believe it's about the only Memo that I own. Maybe one other random one, but that was definitely the one that was at the top of my list, and I'm glad that I have it. But also, this is so close and such a good performer that I really don't need to own the real deal. You know, this is going to be a little bit different. This is not, you know, a clone of some Paco Rabanne or some common type of smell that we're all used to, right? This is a little bit off the beaten path, so to speak, in terms of just being a bit unique. So this might not be everybody's first choice. This next one that we're going to dive into is a little bit more with the times and fits in with the current trends, I guess you could say. Also, a French Avenue or a Fragrance World. It is Liquid Brun. Yeah, this is a clone of one of the newer Parfums de Marly's. It is Althair. And man, it is absolutely incredible. It has essentially the sweet vanilla prominence. Okay, that is the key player here, is the vanilla. With that, you're getting this kind of chestnut smell, this really forward gourmand sweetness too. So that is one of the things about this one. It smells kind of chocolatey. Again, that chestnut aids in that gourmand type of categorization there. But it smells so good, man. So addicting, so alluring, so sexy smelling. I mean, this is the type of thing that people go crazy for, and you don't really, I guess, fully understand why until you smell this, and then you just kind of realize what all of the hype is about. Of course, it started with the Parfums de Marly, but then not too long after, I mean, really pretty quickly, actually, we got this clone, and it makes sense. Now, in this bottle presentation here, we've got a bit of a closer color. You know, it's somewhat similar. You can see my bottle of Althair right back here. You know, it's out of focus, but right back over here. So you can kind of see, you know, they're somewhat close, but mainly we're talking about the scent. And again, it is very, very accurate. This is going to be somewhere around, I don't know, usually around $40 to $45. Of course, the PDM is going to be well over $200, even on discounters. So big savings here. Again, this is going to be of the sweeter variety a lot. So it's more of that new modern style type of scent DNA that we're all used to. Really strong performer, killer compliment factor. There's a reason why this stuff is so popular. All right, this next one is Barouge Perle d'Or. Really fantastic one here. I'm trying to take a peek at the bottle size because I know it's something weird. Yeah, it's 85 ml, 2.8 ounce, 85 milliliter bottle. So always kind of an odd sized bottle there. Just wanted to toss that in there as a little fun fact. This is a clone of Parfums de Marly, Carlisle. So Carlisle is essentially this embodiment of this kind of smoky tobacco with a lot of patchouli and a little bit of a sweet kind of vanilla undertone as well. It kind of reminds me a slight bit of Mancera Red Tobacco, although nowhere near as strong and even as animalic as Red Tobacco, because Red Tobacco does have a bit of that signature Mancera oud, which can come across as a little bit aromatic. You don't get that in this or in Carlisle, which is nice. This stuff smells incredible, and it gets you so close to Carlisle that it's insane. It's almost to the point where you really would have a hard time telling them apart. I mean, it is impressive just how accurate this one gets. Yet another one that has great performance too, just like the PDM, coming in at a fraction of the cost when it's all said and done. As far as clones go, this is a little bit more expensive than your average clone. I can't remember what it goes for. Could be $50, maybe $60. Again, that's more than normal, but it's still nowhere near the price of $200 and, $60, $70 a lot of times for the PDM. This next one is a clone of Xerjoff Naxos. It's one of the newest Naxos clones on the market. It is Maison Asrar Muharib. Really cool bottle as well. The thing that's coolest, at least for me, is the texture. I mean, I haven't really felt this type of texture on a glass before. Really cool. I don't know how well it shows on camera, but it just has a distinct feel. It just, I don't know, looks pretty neat. The cap is cool. Everything about the presentation is pretty neat. But really the main thing that we're looking at is that scent DNA. And yes, it does have that tobacco honey mixture that Naxos is known for, and it's very accurate, very, very close. Also getting that performance dialed in too, to where it's a beast mode scent just like Naxos is. And even the quality is not far behind, which is crazy considering, well, this is a clone and Naxos is a niche scent, right? But really, I mean, this is not a poor quality scent. It does not smell cheap or synthetic really in the slightest bit. From open to dry down, it is smooth. It's impressive how good these clones are these days. Now, Maison Asrar, again, kind of a newer clone brand. These are also a little bit more expensive. And by that, I mean, I believe $49. Okay, so it's not like it's crazy. That is still significantly less than Naxos. And the good news is that there are other Naxos clones out there. So if this is a little bit out of your price range, you could go for, it's Amir Vo Elegante. That might be $30. Insurrection Pure 2 Wild, that might be $20. So you could save an extra $20, $30 or so if you wanted to go that route as well. Just know that there are options. I just happen to really like this one right now. This next one is Lattafa Khamrah Qahwa. All right. If you've smelled the original Khamrah, this is going to be familiar to you. What do? They add coffee, and quite a bit of it as well. I mean, really prominent coffee note, roasted coffee beans. It smells amazing, and for whatever reason, it almost amps up that liquor smell a little bit. I don't know if it's just maybe changing the balance of the notes or something, because obviously the original Khamrah has a booziness as well. After all, it is heavily inspired by Killian's Angel Share, but I don't know, you just almost pick up a little bit more of that, just kind of smelling it, the dry down here, pulling the cap. But yeah, that coffee comes through there off that dry down as well a lot, and I love it. I'm a big fan of coffee. I'm a big fan of coffee fragrances, and this one is really good. Not to mention, subtle but nice gradient. Looks really sharp, right? The original, it's just straight through, no gradient, but just a little bit of a distinction here with this flanker. Just everything about this presentation, to be fair, is pretty cool. And I love just the coloration of the liquid itself. That's not always indicative of the scent profile or performance, but in this instance, it is a very strong performer, and it is a very sweet, rich, full-bodied scent. Definitely a great wearing experience, and this is usually going to run you, I don't know, usually around $35, $40 on discounters as well. This next one is Afnan 9 PM, clone of Ultra Male. So Ultra Male has that pear, has that cinnamon, has that vanilla, right? Just everybody knows Ultra Male. This is having a very similar thing, although instead of pear, I believe they use apple. In this instance, same thing, because it smells like pear. It just has that same type of fruity sweetness and warm spiciness that Ultra Male has. They're very, very close. you're just kind of splitting hairs at this point. There are other clones of Ultra Male out there as well. And you guys know Ultra Male, at least for me, that is what I like to wear in fall. You know, I don't really wear Ultra Male in winter, in spring, and definitely not in summer. There's just something about it that smells like the season of fall. I don't know what it is. It's just, that's what it is for me. Now, Ultra Male itself isn't horrendously priced. I think it's around $100 on discounters, right? For 120 or 125 ml. I mean, that's not horrible for a designer in this market, but this is like $30, maybe even a bit less if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, there's still a pretty big difference in price. If you want to save money, this is one way you can do it for sure. All right, let's keep it moving with FOMO Gary's Den. Of course, a straight concentration, just pure parfum, super strong stuff, really high quality, smells almost identical to Dior Homme Parfum, you know, like not the 2025 basically. It's Dior Homme Parfum 2020, and then what was the release year for the original one? What was it, 2014? I can't remember, I'm trying to think back. 2014? I don't know, just Dior Homme Parfum. That's gonna bother me now that I'm not sure what it is, so I'll have to look it up after this. Dior Homme Parfum, it's all about the leather, the iris, the rose, and the oud. So those two right there, the oud rose combo, that can throw some people off. I can tell you it's managed well here. It's not too much, all right? It's balanced out with the iris and everything else here to where no big deal. But this stuff is potent. It is strong, leathery, iris forward. Man, it is really intense. This is not for everybody. Now, Dior Homme Parfum was kind of a risky blind buy because of the smell mixed with the high price, right? There was a point where it was going for nearly $200 on discounters, right? It was just really sought after and very hard to find. And in my opinion, worth every bit of that $200. It's pretty much niche. That's just my opinion, my take on it. But the other reason why it was, of course, you know, daring is because of that price. If I didn't say that already, it's a lot of money for a blind buy. Now, this here, luckily, is usually just a touch under $40 or right at $40, making it less painful if you don't like it, but still risky because of the scent. So approach that however you would like. Yeah, it's up to you to decide. If you're jumping straight into iris for the first time, don't start here. If you have a pretty good grasp on what you like at this point, then this might be something that you can explore. All right, we're gonna go with, let's see, the one and only Golden Nights by Fragrance World. So this is kind of what I was talking about earlier when I was talking about Fragrance World, French Avenue. They don't leave much up to the imagination here. This is for sure a clone of the one Royal Night. And I don't just say that because it looks like it, just to be fair. It should be obvious, but just in case people think, you know, yes, they clone the bottles as well, but also the scent is pretty much, I don't think I've found a Fragrance World clone where they emulate the bottle but don't get the scent accurate. I don't think I smelled a mist from Fragrance World yet. I could be wrong, but I don't think I have. Like, they really have their stuff dialed in. So yes, a clone of the one Royal Night. That was an exclusive edition. You can't get it anymore. What I liked so much about it was it actually performed good. Okay, so that was like kind of unheard of for Dolce & Gabbana. The one, EDT, EDP, they don't perform good. Royal Night, Luminous Night, Mysterious Night, they performed good. So what I would often do and what I would tell people to do is buy the one Royal Night, okay? Layer that with the one EDP. So spray this one on, usually first, but it doesn't matter. Spray it on, spray the one EDP over top. That way you're getting the strong sandalwood base of Royal Night and you're still getting that tobacco and stuff from the one EDP because yes, this doesn't have tobacco, which is weird for the one flanker, but I digress. That would help the performance issue. Obviously at this point they discontinued those. That sucks, but hey, you can pick up this clone and you could still do that method. That's gonna help you with the performance. If you're wondering, I don't know why my ear is so red. I don't know, okay? Just in case you were wondering. Let's keep it moving with Pandora Scents Milano Prive. All right, this one is a clone of 1 million Prive. Okay, that was one of the very best fall designers that you could buy. Can't get it anymore if you're sensing a trend. They always discontinue the good stuff. Basically has this cinnamon, caramel, apple type of smell. It legitimately smells like autumn, and that's what was so phenomenal about it. Even the bottle had essentially, well, a similar color to the back of this plate here. I don't know if you can see it. You've got gold, okay, similar to 1 million. We can never focus, right? There we go. And then this brown, that was basically the faceplate of 1 million Prive and the gold accenting. So that was a cool little detail that they did right with this one. Just everything about it had fall written all over it. Amazing smelling scent. Man, just again, caramel apple. Smells like you're going to an apple orchard and doing all the fun fall festivities. And we're gonna finish things off with Reinheit Parfum by, you guessed it, Fragrance World. This one's really cool because at some point I'm confident that they're going to discontinue Dior Fahrenheit Le Parfum. They've discontinued all of the other good ones, and I just feel like that's going to happen. And when it does, we already have a clone lined up, a very accurate one at that. It's got the violet leaf, it has the rum, it has the leather, it has everything that you would expect out of Fahrenheit Le Parfum, just bottled into something that is, I don't know, $30 or so. All right, you guys, that's going to do it for me. Some of the best clones you can buy for fall. I'm going to link these down below. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.